Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important property of CSS, that is background size. So far, we have already discussed many other properties related to background, like background image, background position, right, and background attachment. So this session is in the continuation of the same, where we will talk about the background size. So by the end of this session, we will be able to understand why do we need background size, what all possible values are there that we can use along with background size. Okay, but before we proceed further, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for timing, we are just mainly focusing on how background size work. Okay, fine. Now if we talk about the code is very simple and straightforward as of now, because we have not added anything. We just kept one title in the head section, and there is one heading which is which shows the text CSS Cascading Style Sheets by Sharmit. So now you can simply save this and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you will see that CSS Cascading Style Sheets by Sharmit has been printed on the screen. Okay. Now after this, what we will do, we will put another heading here. So I'll write H2, and here we will keep the title. So title would be background -size CSS property. Okay. So this is our main topic. You can save it and refresh it. So background size CSS property. After this, what we will do, this is clear that what we are going to learn, right? We have put the heading. Now it's time to include the image. Why? Because we want to see how background size work. So for that, firstly we are supposed to include one image, because on that image only we will use this background size property. So here for image, I'm going to use the same image which I already stored in the same folder where my code is. So the image name is tiger.webp. So this is the image which we are going to use for the demo purpose. So let's go here and do what we will do now. We will simply go and include the style. So we are going to follow the approach of internal CSS. So here we will write style. In style, we will put simply a selector. So let's select the body as a selector. In this body, we are going to apply the background image. So for that, we will use background image. Now here you can put URL. In URL, we will put the either path of the image or name, but in my case, I have already stored the file in the same location, so you just need to write here tiger.webp. Okay, so you can save it and refresh it. So once you refresh the browser, you will see that one image has been repeated multiple times. Why? Because by default background repeat value is repeat. If you don't want to repeat it, you can simply go here and write background repeat as no repeat. Okay, now save it and refresh the browser. Perfect. Now what we will be doing, we are going to understand the concept of background size. So for that, let's simply write here background size. Now let's say if you want to apply this image to this entire screen. So in this situation, we will go with the option background size cover. So what cover will do, cover value will simply scale the background image to cover the entire container, possibly cropping it. So in this case, it might crop the image. So let's save it and refresh the browser. So after a refresh, you will see that yes, now the image is coming on the entire screen, and there is everything is looking perfect, right? Fine. Now similarly, if we provide a value as auto, so what auto will do? So mainly auto keeps the image size same. It didn't change anything. So yes, it doesn't change anything. If I refresh the browser, you can see it is coming like a default image. So actually background size default value is auto itself. That's why like whenever we insert the image, it automatically, like if you remove this line, then only it would look like the same. Why? Because this is the default value. So in case of default value, you can put auto. So sometime in interviews this question might be asked that what is the default value for background size. So you can simply say the default value for background size is auto, and when we are using auto as a value, that means there like after auto you can simply say that it keeps or retains the same size of the image. So far we have discussed two values, auto and cover. In case of cover, what it will do, it will cover the entire screen. Okay, we just discussed it, right? So you can simply write here cover, save it, and now you can see. But in this situation, sometime image got cropped in order to cover it. Perfect. Now the next thing is contain. So let's see what contain will do. So basically contain make it very sure that the image comes the image is visible properly. Okay, so it changes the height and width of the image in a way that it is visible to user properly. So you can see everything is covered here. So it automatically decided the size, the height and width of the image so that user can see the image properly. Clear? Fine. So far we have discussed three values: cover, contain, auto. Auto is the default one. In case of cover, it cover up the entire container. Let's say instead of body, if you are applying it for any div, so it accommodate the thing. In case of contain, it accommodate a size that is visible to user properly. So it automatically decide how much width should be there or how much height it should take. Clear? Now some of you might be thinking like how we can set the size by our own. So yes, if you want to set the size by your own, you can pass it in a pixels. So you can just write here 500 pixels and 40 pixels. So in this situation, if you refresh the browser, you will see that 500 is now width and 40 is the height. Let's say if you want to increase the height, you can write 400 here. So now 500 is the width, 400 is the height. Likewise, in case if you want to reduce the width, you can make it as 250 or any number which you want to give. So you can see. Likewise, we can decide, suppose I want to make it as 600, okay? And let's say if I want to cover this part also, so maybe 650 would be enough. Perfect. So it's look good, right? Similarly, if I want to change the height, I can change it by providing the pixels. So this is the one way to set the background size. Similarly, you can provide the values in percentile. So let's say if I pass it as 50% and 50%, save it, refresh it. So this is how it looks in 50%. Okay, and if you make it as 100%, save it, refresh it. So something is like this. In case if you want to accommodate the 100% width, so it would look like this. And in case of like here, if you want to change it to 500 pixels, you can pass like this. Okay, so it is taking the width of 100%, but height you are setting it by your own 500 pixels. If you are not providing height, then what will happen? Save it, refresh it. So it automatically decide the height as per the width. So we have selected the width as 100%. That's why it is taking care of the height and showing it in a proper way. Okay, clear? So this is how you can utilize background size. And don't get confused, like this is not the cover. Cover is a different value which automatically decide which automatically cover the entire container where the value is passed. But in case when we are only providing 100%, let's say if I provide for example 500 pixels, not percentage. So save it, and now you can see it is deciding the height according to the image. Okay, so I think now these all possible values are clear to you, like how we can pass these values where we discussed about the auto, which is a default value, then cover, then contain, and then we discussed how to set the size using dimensions. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.